Hey, Jeep and Shinobi here, vlog time. A very megatastic vlog. Full of Nope, not Power Rangers. Pokemon. And here's the thing. A lot of people wanted to know my opinions about the whole X and Y Mega Evolutions and basically anything involving X and Y, since I haven't really covered it in any sort of vlog. Only on talks on the podcast, and I know a lot of my subscribers don't listen to the podcast, which is a shame because it's really fun. Really stupid, really rude, but really fun. And so I just kind of wanted to give my thoughts here. I actually have no notes in front of me, and I'm going off this right off the top of my head. So we'll see how it goes. Real quick right off the bat, I'm going to start with Mega Evolutions. I think they are interesting. I don't really know the correct word I want to use for them, but I'm going to say interesting. The thing about them is that it opens up a whole new can of worms with Mewtwo being one of them. So Legendaries can Mega Evolve. Blaziken's one of them, so Starters can Mega Evolve. And so we open up an entire thing where there is no Pokemon that can literally avoid being Mega Evolved. So everything is fair game, and I think that's kind of interesting in a way. I am curious to see how Mega Evolution is going to be handled. As far as I know, they're saying that you could only use one Mega Evolution per battle. So that will limit tournament use of Mega Evolution a little bit by only allowing one Mega Evolution, I think, maybe. That's my guess right now. But it's really interesting. We don't really know too much about it yet, the mechanics of it, and what it actually does besides maybe giving stat boosts and type changes in Ampharos's case. But design-wise, I think they're very, very cool. The only one that I think is kind of weird is maybe Absol and Ampharos, but I like both of them. Ampharos is fabulous, just absolutely fabulous. And Absol gets cool wings and stuff and bigger emo hair. My favorite, though, probably has to be Blaziken or Lucario. I liked both of those Pokemon already, and the Mega Evolutions just make them look even more badass than they did, which is really cool. Lucario in particular, Blaziken gets a lot of cool aspects, but he doesn't change as drastically as Lucario did. Mawile is a cool little addition. Mawile is always one of those Pokemon that just didn't really get any sort of spotlight because it was pretty awful. But hopefully the Mega Evolution kind of bumps it up in the tiers a bit. The Kimono little idea is pretty neat. Or it's not really a kimono, it's more of one of those temple garbs. But, and the double grabby things on its head is an interesting concept too, and makes it look quite a bit more menacing than it did already. Who else we got? Mewtwo. I'm not a really big fan of Mega Mewtwo. Never really was, but it's a thing. I think I hit up all of them now. Kangaskhan is interesting in a sense that Kangaskhan itself doesn't actually change, the baby does. The baby gets really big. Not really big, it just gets a little bit bigger and a little bit more mature. And then they double team and beat the crap out of you. So I think that's kind of an interesting concept as well. As of this recording, there isn't any other Mega Evolutions announced yet. But I think it's something that could really kind of turn the game upside down if used properly and if managed properly. So we'll have to see how that actually goes. But it's a very cool concept, and I'm interested in seeing where it goes. So that'll be fun. In terms of new Pokemon, I mean, the starters, Froakie's adorable. I love frogs, so Froakie's probably going to be my favorite, even though I'm probably going to start with Fennekin because I always start with the fire. But I like Fennekin too. Chespin, I'm not a huge fan of Chespin, but I don't mind him at all. I think he's adorable. So, pretty much a fan of all three starters this time around, which is interesting. Litleo? There goes my phone again. Litleo, I think, was one of the Pokemon's names to Fire Lion. He is very, very adorable. I really like him. The bird isn't too bad. It evolves into something pretty decent. I'm not a huge memorizer of the names quite yet, so just bear with me here. But I don't really mind too many of the Pokemon. I think some of them are kind of a little bit lame, like the seahorse thing just kind of looks like a decaying horsey. Clauncher is kind of a Krabby that just looks cooler. So I'm really hoping for some kind of a little bit more out of left field designs. The little flamingo bird is pretty cute. The cotton candy goes great with the ice cream. So we got like a whole little sugary dessert thing going on here. So that's kind of neat. But a lot of them are interesting in design, to say the least. Yveltal and Xerneas both look very oddball and very cool. And I hope it's a theme throughout the legendaries of this game to be kind of very mystical. And so I like the way that those look. I am getting Y right off the bat. I'll probably end up with both games just because I'm in one of those kind of funks where I want to collect all the Pokemon games. So I'll probably end up getting both at some point, but I am getting Y first, and Y will be my main game because I like the color red, obviously. And I just really like the way Yveltal looks. Big dragon bird of death. So that's kind of neat. Not that Xerneas is bad, it's a deer, whatever. But that covers a lot of my basic thoughts. Someone asked me on my ask.fm what I was most looking forward to. And as much as I'm always looking forward to new Pokemon, new designs, and a new world to explore, I think what I'm most looking forward to in this game is the entire change in perspective, both in battles and on the overworld map. Being able to move in a pretty near 3D environment is very exciting for this franchise, since we've always been in a top-down perspective, pretty much locked in that way. Sans a couple of areas in black and white where we were kind of walking straight. But to move around in a 3D environment in this franchise is very cool and something we haven't seen on a handheld yet, so that's exciting. And particularly the battles, I think, is just the dynamics of the battle have really changed in terms of using 3D animation instead of the sprites, and just kind of the perspective of the battle kind of hovering around. So it's kind of taking the experiences that the console games have shown into a handheld world, which I think is absolutely exciting, because handheld is really where Pokemon belongs. Not that the console games are bad, they're just very different experiences, I think. So I'm really looking forward to that, and Super Training is another thing that I'm really excited for. I competitive battled for, I think, about a year or two around the time Platinum was out. And I enjoyed it. I do like battling, but the competitive battle scene just got so hardcore between EVs, IVs, your entire team having to be shiny or else you're a tool or something. And a lot of all this EV, IV maxing has to do with number manipulation, which isn't necessarily cheating, it's using the system. And the system's there, you might as well use it. The problem is a lot of people don't have access or knowledge to that sort of thing. So a lot of people that are just getting into the game or have been into the game for a while but just not really into the competitive scene, it's hard to really break in unless you really dedicate yourself to learning the ins and outs of the game. And I think the Super Training is at least a start. You still have the IVs and everything that are going to be a little bit tricky for newcomers. But in terms of giving your Pokemon proper EVs, Super Training is going to help a lot for the newcomers into the competitive scene, and I'm really looking forward to that. Particularly because I think the game needs it. I think a larger competitive scene is nice. It is growing every year, definitely, but I think it growing even more isn't a bad thing at all, and I'm looking forward to seeing the turnouts for the video game tournaments this coming season, just to see if the advent of Super Training is something that kind of helps out. Because I really think it does, and I think if people can utilize it to its full extent, not that we know what the full extent is, but as long as I can use it properly, then it's something that could actually be very, very cool. And I'm looking forward to seeing just how easy it is to use and how easy it is to track. Because if you're not paying the right attention, it is very easy to screw up EV training. Very easy. All you need to do is have your count off by 1, and everything just kind of goes... And you pretty much have to start from scratch. So, really looking forward to seeing what happens here with that. But something as easy as a perspective is something I'm really looking forward to. So new Pokemon, new evolution style, new perspective, new training. Lots of new in this game, and I'm really, really excited that they're finally taking a more of a kind of out there approach. They've always done small things to change the formula up from game to game, but it's pretty much always been the same exact thing. Now, this one is definitely going to be more of the same. You catch the Pokemon, you battle the gym leaders, but the kind of the core of it is changing between the Mega Evolutions and Super Training and stuff, and I think that'll be really interesting. We still have Pokemon Ami, too. That's a feature that I don't really know what it does yet, besides probably raise happiness and stuff. But I like Nintendogs and stuff, so I think that's a really interesting addition to the game as well. So lots of features in this, and I honestly cannot wait until October. September is going to be a very long month. Thankfully, August is half over already almost, so I don't know how that happened, but whatever, time flies, I guess. But really looking forward to the release of the game. I'm not sure the extent of my coverage for it, whether I'll be filming anything or not. Probably not. Just because when I get the game, I want to play it, and I don't want to be restricted to when I can film and when I can't film. So I'll probably be doing a lot of live tweeting, so follow me on Twitter if you want to check out my adventures in Kalos. So that'll be a thing, and I'll do a couple other update vlogs as well once the game hits. So if any other big news hits, I'll be sure to give my thoughts out through this method, since people seem to want it. So hopefully we get some new stuff soon. Probably not until later on in September, and then when the game gets released. The worldwide release is actually really cool because we pretty much do not have any spoilers at all. We have what Coral leaks and the Pokemon website gives us, and that's about it. So it's really exciting, basically starting from scratch everywhere. It's really exciting. I mean, granted, Japan's going to be one of the first people to get it because time zones, and we're going to be one of the last people to get it because time zones. But it's still really cool, and I'm looking forward to it. And like I said, I'll do more vlogs in the future covering any new news, as well as my coverage of the game when it comes out. So looking forward to that. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below, and I'll try to get to them. Otherwise, ask me at my Ask FM, which should hopefully be in the description box by now. So ask me then. Take care. Have a great one. Bye.